So we have literally just rushed into the car because I wasn't sure if I was going to get a scan this week. But last minute I decided, you know what, I'm just going to see if they've got any availability. And she said, I actually am fully booked today, but if you can come in now, I can see you. So we've literally just got into the car. David thinks it's ridiculous, but my theory is, Nick, like, I do want to see them before the 12-week anyway. It's just to, you know, to check on them. Not that I'm worried. I just want to I want to look at them. I want to see what they look like, and I'm just, yeah, I just want to see them. I've missed them, even though they're in me. I just want to see them. And the other reason, yeah, is because I didn't want to wait the whole 12 till the 12 week. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like 9 weeks is right bang in the middle. So we are literally off to go and see them. So 9 weeks and 3 days, I think I am. It's Thursday. 9 weeks, 3 days. Yeah, 9 plus 3 currently. I'm still feeling good. My appetite's definitely come back, even though I'm still specific. Not much has changed symptoms wise, but yeah, we are off to the scan. God, you're gonna have to excuse the state of me today. It's 27 degrees in the UK, and I probably have food in my teeth, but my gosh, guys, I just was not expecting that. Getting into that scan, obviously it was very last minute. We were like, I went in my slippers. That was how last minute was. She was like, if you can get here in the next 5 minutes, I can see you, but if not, I can't see you till Saturday. So I was like, David, let's just go. So we just ran into the car. And obviously I didn't really know what to expect at 9 weeks, but I'm 9 weeks plus 3. But someone else who also was on the IVF journey a week behind me, I guess, no, a week ahead of me. So she was last week. Behind, ahead, you know what I mean. So she, last week she had her 9 week scan, and she said, Lauren, you have to go for a 9 week scan. They are so different. You see everything. And I kind of had it in my head, oh, okay. I kind of didn't know what to expect, but I was thinking, well, I'm going to expect to see a little bit more than I did. Obviously at 7 weeks, but I did not expect to see this much. Oh my God. Twin one was rolling around, really moving. And oh my God, like, it's so weird because I kept going he, but we don't know. If I kept saying, oh my God, he's moving so much. And I was like, oh my God, why am I saying he? So I was feeling like twin one was a he. So I was going, oh my God, he's so cute. And I was like, he's so fidgety. He's so like rolling around, waving. His arms were going up and down. His legs were going up and down. He was like having a right good time in there. And yeah, twin one was measuring at 10 weeks, 5 days. That's like a whole week and 2 days ahead of what my weeks are. So I was like, no, I'm 9 weeks, 3 days. And she was like, yep, he's measuring the twin one's measuring at 10 weeks, 5 days. I was like, wow. And she did say it's very normal for IVF babies to be on the faster grower scale because of the stimulation drugs and everything, like to get those embryos. So she explained it that way, which I was like, okay. I was like, if not, I'm like, I definitely didn't get pregnant 10 weeks and 5 days ago, put it that way. Because that would have been a natural pregnancy. But yeah, obviously we know it's not. We know it's both embryos. But yeah, she said it's normal. And then the second twin, she was like, they're like one above the other. I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm just looking at them. I can't even cope. And I'm sitting here waiting for the videos because she said you couldn't record in there, but she's going to send everything over. So I'm like obsessing, going over my emails, just refreshing. I just want to see them move again because it was hilarious. And I was so overwhelmed. And I was like, I can't even believe this. This is just amazing. I started crying. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh yes, and just checking the heartbeats. And then I could hear the heartbeat. I was like, I was not ready for this. And I grabbed David's hand. I was like, oh my God, this is unreal. And she did it all on my tummy. She didn't have to go in because I didn't know if I wanted another internal. Like, I don't really want any invasive stuff anymore. Just want to let them grow. But she was like, yeah, just flicked it on. It went da-dung, 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 da-dung. I was like, oh my God. And then she went twin two, da-dung, 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 da-dung. I was like, oh my God, this is unreal. And she was like, yeah, one is on top of the other. So it's like, think of it as stairs. Like if you're standing up, like one's up here, one's down there. So when she was doing it, it's obviously where the pelvis is, or where the uterus is. Yeah, one's on top of the other. But she managed to get good angles and of them both. And I'll show you the first picture. And look at that, like proper baby. babies. The head, the arms, the umbilical cord, like this bit there is the umbilical cord. She said the placenta will be growing here, this side. She said something about, this is my belly, like the top of my belly, and the placenta will be growing this side. So apparently she said something like, when they start kicking, you won't feel it as much. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's obviously a bonus, because I don't really want to feel them absolutely kicking me, both of them. And then, yeah, the umbilical cord's coming up here on the twin one, twin two. That's it, look, twin one, twin two. So this one's measuring a little bit bigger than the other one. But yeah, twin one's the closest to my cervix. And then look, she then just out of all of a sudden went 3D. Oh, I was like, this is just, it was like one thing I just didn't expect. And obviously it was very quick, like you're in there quite quick. It's like a 15-minute appointment, and she squeezed me in. So there was like an element of, it felt rushed, but at the same time she did slow down, and then she was doing all the measurements, and then I could really take it in. But it was just like one thing after another, and I just wasn't prepared. So when she showed me the actual, and obviously this is just a photo, but I'm hopefully going to get the footage, so I'm going to add it in here. Obviously I will add it to show you guys, but how much they were moving. So she was showing me these two, and then this one, twin one, was just moving around, wiggling his arms, wiggling the legs, and then twin two, super chilled, just chilled. But then right at the end, I say she because I kept thinking she, right at the end she just did a little movement, and she was moving her arms, and she waved at me. She waved at me, or baby waved at me, whatever you guys are. I just love you no matter what you are. But but so when yeah, we couldn't do 2 on 1 because, say this is twin one, that would have been just the head, because the twin two is facing the other way, so they're facing different directions, so you can't get them side by side. So when I think she did, oh yeah, she did them separately. Look, one's facing one way, one's facing the other. Twin one, twin two, but look at them, they look absolute like little babies. And look at them in there, all nice and tugged. And this one's got, oh, I'm moving. But this one has got, had her hands above her head. And this one was just wiggling around. It was just so funny. I just wasn't expecting to see actual babies. Like the whole thing's formed, like, not the whole thing, obviously, but they just look like actual babies. So I'm guessing because obviously one of them's measuring, growing faster at 10.5. That's like near the 12-week mark where they're fully developed, and then from 12 weeks they're then fully developed, and then they just start growing just in size. Their size is increased, but everything has formed by 12 weeks. But most things are formed by, I'm 9 weeks, and I just find it incredible. Like, I only found out I was pregnant at 4 weeks plus, was it 4 weeks, 3 days? I found out I was pregnant, and I just find that absolutely fascinating. Like 4 weeks, and then like 5 weeks later, you've got literal babies in there. I'm just like, this is crazy. So yeah, they're doing really well, and it's taken me a while because I went over to my mum's and then she was crying and I didn't get it. I just really was just enjoying and taking in the moment. David, even, I think, I don't know if he shed a tear, but I literally pulled him out of work, and he had the hump. He was like, why are you doing this? You don't need to, the babies are fine. I was like, no, but I just want to see them. And then when we heard the heartbeat, we saw them on 3D, and then we just saw them moving around. I was like, David, is it worth coming? He went, yeah, it's worth coming. This is incredible. I could just see his face, and he was so happy. And we had it on a huge screen in front of us as well. So we had like a cinema view, and I just didn't want to leave. I was just like crying and just like taking everything in. So you guys are gonna get to see the footage. I'm still impatiently waiting, but this is the footage of our gorgeous twins. I still can't believe I'm saying it. Oh my gosh. And I did forget to tell you, I'm literally in 5 minutes, I have an appointment with a private midwife. She is an alternative midwife. She's been in the midwifery for years. She's delivered hundreds and hundreds of babies. And she does it alternatively. So I'm having a chat with her. I've booked in a little 30-minute call just to ask her some questions, and yeah, just to see what my options are, because my actual midwife appointment with NHS is on Saturday. So I'm having this meeting with her, so I'll see what she says, and then I'm going to compare it to what happens at the next midwife appointment. and I'm just going to feel into what I prefer, because I'm still, guys, I'll probably do a whole video on this, but actually, you know what, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to the next video, because there's a lot I want to talk on this and what I'm feeling as a mum and as my rite of passage into motherhood. So yeah, I'm going to do a whole video on this next about like what, yeah, how I interpreted both midwives, what I feel and intuitively feel I want to do. I'm already thinking about the birth. I actually am. But I just want to know like how often I should be scanning. Do you know what I mean? There's so many questions. So I'm going to make sure I write them all down so I can tell you guys like what's going on in my head. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to do a whole video on it. So yeah, literally got to go, because in a few minutes time I have my first midwife alternative appointment. So we're on a family outing to my midwife appointment. I don't think you guys know that I've got my midwife appointment first. But it is Reese's birthday. Happy birthday, Reese, our eldest. And yeah, we're literally on the way to the midwife appointment. And then we're going to go hamster shopping, because he wants to get 1 or 2 hamsters. Yeah. How many? 2. Oh my god. We're getting 2 hamsters. So yeah, we're literally off to, where we're going? Nugent's after. And then
it's always funny because you tell these people to go off to Bromley or off to Newes. They have no idea where we live.
But it's not too far from us.
Did you do a baby update for when we went to see our little babies the other day?
I did. I have already updated them, and I've got the pictures here. I don't know what else to bring to the midwife appointment, so I'm literally. Yourself. Yeah, but I think they just like ask you loads of questions. But I do have to update them because I have found another alternative midwife. She's an independent midwife, and I wanted to kind of explain. But like I said, I'm going to do like a whole sit down with you guys about what I'm feeling. But I wanted to get this midwife appointment first and ask the options of what the NHS looks like. But if they're going to be like induction, C-section, all of these fear-mongering things, I'm going to be like, no, I'm going independently, and then I'm just going to have to pay for it. So yeah, the plan is to see what the NHS can offer. And I did speak to a birth keeper who was a midwife in the NHS, and she said that Prue don't have, so Prue's my local hospital, the one that I was obviously, well, I thought I would be going to, they don't have any people that really specialised in Di twins, and plus they apparently don't really know that they don't really treat you any differently from identical to Di. So I don't know, that's what she said, so I'm going to find out myself. But yeah, she just said, just make sure you're making informed decisions on facts, not just what they say. Like, ask why, and I'm very inquisitive anyway. So that's the plan today. So hopefully I'll get some questions answered, get a feel of things. But yeah, if I go independently, then my independent midwife will literally take over all of the appointments and everything like that. You get the whole package included. She looks after you the whole pregnancy and even 6 weeks after postpartum. So I'm feeling really drawn to this lady, and I'm having a call with her on Monday. So it's all happening this weekend, and I will keep you updated what I'm feeling and yeah, what I decide moving forward. That's actually really good. Right, we've got our pregnancy pack. It's crazy. I've always seen my sister-in-law she's had it twice now. She had 2 babies, and I've seen her like walk, to her appointments with these, and I'm like, I get one now.
You're catching up on all of the Miss Mums.
Yeah,
you've witnessed other people go.
I know I have. My cousin, my sister-in-law.
Like everybody was getting pregnant around us.
Emily,
like everybody.
Your sister, yeah, I know. But anyways, it's my turn. Yeah, really good appointment. Actually, better than I expected. Really nice people. But it was an interesting one. The boy, by the way, the children went to McDonald's. We had to go and pick them up. They've been in there an hour and a half later. I don't know whether or not we were just chatting. We were chatting, weren't we? But I just had a lot of questions, and and they gave me space for that, and I really, I respect that they gave me space to talk. But yeah, I spoke to them about the possibility I was going to go independent, because I wanted to know my rights with the NHS first. And yeah, they actually did say like they're not experienced with, well, they didn't say not experienced, they just haven't seen any vaginal twin births at home, like, because no mum has actually asked for it. So this was the funny thing, like, yes, the stats are that no, they don't do it, but she said, but no one's asked for it. So she was like, I'm going to put you in touch with the consultant before we go away, which is obviously the next few weeks, I get to have a phone call with the consultant to see if it is an option. But she was saying, like, their recommendations are their recommendations. Recommendations is labour ward, induction, possible C-section, all of this in like the red zone for multiples. But she said, but we are very much, you know, it's about the mum and your decision, what you want, and we'll try and make that happen for you. And I quite like that. Did you expect that?
I was saying to them, like, I don't think we need people pushing for this agenda of the system's terrible.
No.
I think we need to bring more awareness of giving women their power in their having their own control over their birth. And I think that doesn't come from the lack of awareness in the system. I think it comes from the lack of empowerment that women feel within their lives. And so they don't go into hospitals and go, this is how I want to have an empowered birth. They go completely into the system.
Yeah, the women just go, I trust the system, and you know, all their rights just go over to the people in charge. But they actually said, like, you know, they loved the fact that I was asking questions. They loved the fact that I was like wanting to know things, and that they were supporting that. They weren't saying no to it. So I was actually like quite not surprised. I just thought they would be like no, but they were like, no, it's up to you, and we'll try and make that happen. So she said we'll speak to the consultant in the next few weeks, and because obviously I want to make an informed decision with Daisy. She even said she knows the independent midwife, and she said I can speak to her if you want, and maybe there might be a way that, you know, she can come to the appointment, and there might be like an in-between where you don't have to go full private independent, but there might be a way that actually. And then she said about her training her staff. She's like, she could come in and train us on how to deliver twins at home, and like, it was weird, wasn't it? I was like, this is just crazy. Like, she was like, we need to educate ourselves because we haven't had mums ask us. So I was like, actually, it's not about the system. It's like the mums don't feel like they even have a choice.
Because women don't have the empowered choice. They don't have full sovereignty of their body yet. And
I know, and I think that's so mad, because it's all well and good us all blaming the system that it's this, that's that, but there's not enough women standing up for their rights and what they want. And, you know, we go straight into, we don't know, well, let's give it over, let's put our trust in that, and we allow the fear to take over us, that we just go, no, you do it, and then their fear, and it's all just this fear. And she said, I agreed, she goes, I agree with you that there is a lot of fear and unknown, but this is why we do need more training. And it's like, yeah, it was just an interesting conversation. It's not that they're not trained, but Prue, where we are going, they haven't needed to, because every mum will just do what they're told, which I think let's change the system. So something in me was like, there might be a way of us going through NHS, but combining it with the independent and that what she knows, and for her to come to appointments but still do it through NHS. So like, it combines. Something in me was like, I'm going to explore this. So look, I'm not going to say too much on it because we don't know, but there might be an avenue where we can work together.
There needs to be an avenue where the system which offers, like, if anything ever went wrong with your birth, I would want you to be in hospital, because it's like they can then and there they can take action.
No, I know.
But at the same time, it's like we also need to give women back their power in childbirth.
It's interesting. So look, we're not stupid. You know what I mean? I'm not like, obviously you have to know nearer the time where the babies are positioned. I get it. And it is all unknown, but look, I said ideally, like, obviously home birth is like my number one option. That was what I've always wanted, whether I had a singleton or twins. I was like, if that's a choice for me, I want to make that choice because I know that's what I want. But I also said that I'm happy to do, if it was like my ideal, and the team were on board with me at NHS, I would do most of my birth at home to get to, and I would learn how to measure myself to know when I get to like 4 or 5 centimeters and I'm coming into active labor. I would then, however I need to, whether or not it's in the van, you take me to the hospital and I'm laying in the bed because I can't sit down, I don't know, I would get to the hospital and go straight to the Oasis suite. And if I could do an Oasis birth, I would do an Oasis birth. That's the birthing centre with like the water birth. And because I know the water birth, you need to be active labour to go into it. I still want to be in the water before active labour. So, but you don't get that choice so it's like, can I combine my home birth with the NHS and still do the Oasis? She's not looking where she's going.
Yeah, you need to pause that for a minute because I need to ring them and tell them
Okay, but yeah, I will continue this. But it's just, that's the thing going through my head. So I'm like, can we do both?